Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Afridamus Report again. I'm your host, Afridamus. Welcome to the show. And for those of you that were here earlier, welcome back to the show. I have a guest that is supposed to be joining me here a little bit, I'm hoping. She goes by raising the vibe for us. She just recently visited the Gambia, and hey, Dwayne, welcome in the house. I want to welcome all of you in that are watching, whether I mention your name or not. Please make sure you hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, you subscribe, because over here you would get an unconventional type of content, as you know. So my guest is backstage right now, so I'm gonna bring her in a little bit and let her introduce herself to you. So as usually people have different perspectives about the moving back to Africa, but sometimes it doesn't go the way people perceive it to be. Oh, also, we can talk about these things to see where improvements can be made. So, when somebody says things that you probably disagree with, that doesn't mean they're wrong or right. It's a matter of discussion. My guest is here. I'm going to bring her in and start the discussion here. Give me a minute. Hey, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you tonight?
Oh, I am doing well. I'm glad we finally getting this done. And the people are here. They want to hear, what you have to say. I want to hear what you have to say. And can you please introduce yourself to the audience, who you are, and what you do and stuff like that?
Okay, yes. Hi, my name is Kim. I have a YouTube channel called Raising the Vibe. And the intent of that channel is really to share information to help Blacks on the continent and across the diaspora raise their frequency. But recently, I did travel twice this year to the Gambia, once in February for 30 days. And then in the summer, I took my children for a shorter visit. And so I began to do some videos about my experiences in Gambia. I'm an attorney, a certified health coach. I do all kind of other stuff, but somehow my channel kind of got a bit sidetracked in terms of me trying to share that information about Gambia. I had been to the continent before. I've been to Tanzania, to Zambia. On my first trip, I also went to Senegal. So I'm not unfamiliar with the continent. But I did share a lot of videos, a lot of positive videos about the beaches, the sights, the restaurants, everything that I saw in the Gambia. And then recently, I decided to share the final portion of my trip to the Gambia, which was the COVID tests and what was involved with that. And also being at the airport the second time around and having our flight postponed to the next day and everything that ensued there. And even though some people are really encouraging and supportive, I have been surprised by the number of people, Gambians in particular, who have come forward and have a different opinion or approach.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised by that. Seeing your video, the interesting thing is, I would say, 2 days prior to seeing your video. In fact, I did a live here. We were talking about, some of the things that we don't want to see happening in that country. We talked about the corruption, the stealing, things that happen in the airport. How sometimes people there, they don't, it's like they're against progress without even knowing it. So to me, seeing your video, it confirmed everything that I was talking about. Some people thought I was exaggerating it, but here you are. You and I don't know each other, right? Let
No,
the
we
people
don't.
know this. We don't know each other.
We don't.
So there is no such collaboration. It's not like Afridamus is like, hey, Kim, can you please record these people and make this up? That's not what happened. Can you let them know this? That didn't happen, right? But your video, when I saw it, I knew what you were saying is absolutely true. Can you walk us through about, because the video that brought us here is about the COVID test, how the flight got canceled, but we don't only want to talk about that because you've been there twice. So obviously you liked the place. But even if somebody like somewhere, you're not gonna like everything about it. There has to be things that needs improvement, and sometimes you need another set of eyes, you know, to see and point out those things. Can you tell us a little bit about the Gambia? And don't sugarcoat it, please, because over here at the Afridamus Report, we want to hear the truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to hear the truth. Like Gambians, some of them, they are going to be upset about it. Obviously, you've been to the country, you've seen it needs a lot of improvement, lots of it. And how is this improvement going to happen if people are just completely oblivious of these things? So you know you can talk about the nice beaches and all. I mean, these beaches is not everywhere, you know but there are a lot of other unconventional things that we need to talk about. And because there are a lot of people that want to go there, so they know what to expect. Because
Okay.
even just seeing your video, you helped me out. You helped me quite a bit about the airport. And you're not the only person that talked about this. I gave my own accounts of things. You recorded it, you've experienced it. Can you tell us what your experience was like?
Well, let me say a couple things. Number one, the first time I went to the Gambia, I had a hired person to escort me through the airport because that was back in February. And back then, they were randomly selecting people and forcing them to quarantine.
Hmm.
So to escape that, I had to secure the services of someone to make sure I avoided that. On this particular trip, having been there before, we had done everything. We had gotten a Gambian to find us lodging. We did everything we needed to do, and we made it to the airport. It never occurred to me that I needed to, I guess, hire somebody again to get me through this craziness, because we pull up to the airport, my children and I, with a
Wait. So you hired somebody to get you through. Is this person a security personnel? Like, did you find this? How were you able to
well,
find like this service?
I would say that I can't really speak on that.
Okay.
Um, I went through some channels.
Okay, that's Gambia for you. Okay.
Before I went, I
okay.
looked at videos and I was seeing Black Brits, African Americans going off because the Gambians were randomly selecting people and saying, you guys have to come and quarantine. And so to avoid that, I took some steps to make sure I didn't have to experience that.
Okay.
The second time around, we were fine coming through. I had gotten intel from other people. I knew that when you arrived at the airport, they were doing rapid tests right on site. So my children and I were expecting that. Not a problem. But what I didn't realize is that they had started the practice of having flights delayed or postponed. Apparently it happened before ours, and I imagine it continued to happen after. But so we're not expecting that. We're just going to the airport early to make sure everything goes smoothly. And as we're about to pull our luggage out of the trunk, just a random person we don't know walked up and said, hey, I think they canceled the flight. You guys need to go in and talk to them. And we're like, what? No email, no text,
So
nothing.
So before you leave the States, people have to, you got to do a test, right? The COVID test.
Yes.
So like that test doesn't count when you get over there?
Apparently, the second time around, apparently not. The World Health Organization was there, set up in the airport. Literally, before you go in to do anything else, they queue you up and you go to the back and you take the rapid test and you sit there for about 5 minutes. This was what happened in the summertime. You sit there for about 5 minutes, they clear you, and then you go through the regular immigration and all other, pay your $20 airport fee, all the things that you do there.
So are these people that are the World Health Organization people, are they Gambians or these are, foreign people?
They appeared to be Gambians. They had a table with the WHO logo and whatever on it, but they appear to be Gambians. To my recollection, they were Gambians.
Okay. And so you got there, you went through that, and you pay $10 fee. What is this fee?
$20 per person.
$20.
Coming in and coming out. Yeah, $1,000.
What is that for?
Airport fee. We don't know.
So this is extra charge, and it doesn't have any explanation, right?
They may say that it's for some purpose. I think that most of us knew, like we tend to share information. So everybody knew, have your $20. I knew to have 3 since I was bringing my children. I imagine, I don't know what they use it for. I think they may say something, but I don't recall. We just know you got to pay 20 coming in. You've got to pay 20 each coming out.
So okay, like if they're not gonna honor the test that you took here in the United States, like what does it even matter to even do it here before you go?
Well, you have to, of course, because the airline will not let you on in America. The airline will not let you on in your layover. When you get to your layover to Brussels, in this particular case, you have to show all of that testing and all of that information. The first time I went to Gambia, it was sufficient. But this time, the second time around, we did have to take a rapid test right in the airport. Can we just stop for a minute and just lay out a few things? Okay, number one.
Okay.
Number one, as you mentioned, you and I have never met prior to now. And you came on my channel and asked if you could interview me, and I agreed to do that. I had not watched your videos before then, but after that, and I agreed. I think it's great just to talk to people, get different perspectives, even if whether they do or don't agree with you. Right. So I watched one video because Shante White is a sister of mine, and I saw that you had done a video on her. And so I watched that. And from that, correct me if I'm wrong, I kind of got the impression that I got the understanding that you actually are Gambian. Yes. Born there and raised there, but have been here in the U.S. for maybe 2 decades. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And from what I saw, you don't appear to be the biggest fan of the Gambians and how they operate and what they do. Would that be a fair assessment?
Well, I'm somebody who, like, I want, I'm against incompetence of any sort. And the truth of the matter is, if people are going to run a business, run a country, whatsoever, you have to improve, especially if you're dealing with international people. People want straightforward answers, you see, because I know that it can be improved. It's not a matter that I'm against them, but I'm just somebody who is blunt about what I know and what I see.
Well, I saw things where you were saying they're basically thieves, right? And that they
Yes,
stole things from your family growing up, and that they
right.
stole something precious that you bought for your sister.
Yeah,
And this is not something I had ever heard before, but I would not presume to tell a Gambian what their country is about when I've only been there for a maximum of maybe 40 days. I
right.
just wanted to say that I respect your perspective because you know better than I do. But
Mhm.
from my limited experience, I enjoyed my stays there. I wouldn't have gone back if I didn't. I
Right.
have some friends there who I think are upstanding people that I enjoy spending time with. But I will say that this situation threw me for a loop. And one thing that's important to note is that I've been back for quite some time. So I recorded these at the time it was happening. So
Mhm.
this may or may not be my opinion now, but that is my raw reflections on what was going on at that time. I stand by them regardless of whatever people think. I think that it is important to tell the whole truth so
Mhm.
that when my fellow African Americans go over there, yes, they know to look for Lebato Beach or Dodo's restaurant or what have you, but they also know that they are going to encounter price inflation at Banjul Market, at Serakunda. They need to know the whole facts. Some people I've seen have moved to Ghana or the Gambia or somewhere, sight unseen, packed their stuff and gone. The least I can do is tell you the truth, my truth. It may not happen to you, but it's
Right.
happened to me. It's happened to other people. There's a possibility that one might encounter that. And I want to just put that out. And that is my personality. I'm going to talk about the good and the bad. I'm not going to get on there and I'm not going to be complicit in lying by hiding negative things that have happened. But I
Right.
try not to let those limited negative experiences overshadow my
The good.
entire view
Right.
of
Right.
the country.
Yeah.
So,
Obviously, like, I understand. Like, so somebody would say, "Oh, maybe you." For me, they would say, "You're not a big fan." I'm actually a huge fan of the country.
okay.
If I'm not, like, I trust me, I wouldn't even talk about it, because I'm from
That's
there. All
yeah.
every my family, everybody is from there. So if I talk about things and point it out and get these people to change, that helps everybody. You
True.
see? Yeah, it helps everyone because regular Gambians themselves, because some of this information I get, there are people that work in that inside that would send me information about some of these corruptions.
Mm-hmm.
They want me to point them out so that the things can improve. I get it. It would be hard for them to change it that rapidly because of the economic state of the place. But it is quite possible for them to do it. I know this. They can do it.
And that's what I want to say too. Like, even immediately when these things were happening, some people were saying to me, like, well, now you've been, I don't want to say hazed, but now you get the idea of how it is. Like, you finally had that kind of experience, and now, you're in the groove with how things go. And my immediate response is absolutely not. We have to do better. We don't have substandard conditions and then just Oh, well, you're in Africa. That's how it goes. No, sir, no, ma'am. Let us identify these things and fix them. Are we ever going to be better? Or we're just always going to be developing, unstable, chaotic? I mean, I don't think that's a good idea. So even to my Gambian friends, immediately I was saying, absolutely not. We need to do better instead of
Right.
telling people to expect this and get used to it. And now you're like in the club. No,
Mhm.
that's not a good idea.
Yeah, because I notice like some people, sometimes I hear them talking about Gambia, the way they say, to me, it's like a fairy tale. You know,
Mm,
it's
mhm,
a fairy tale. I want people to be realistic.
mhm,
I saw other people, they're like, oh no, this guy is saying this because he doesn't want people to go to Gambia. Like, why wouldn't I want Gambians to have contact with different people? It would help, open their mindset, help them see things. And in all honesty, some of the people, majority, they just don't see that it could improve to what I'm talking about, because people become conditioned,
mhm,
about the environment that they live in. So if they haven't seen anything different or hear something different, they just are like, okay, this is it. This is what everybody is doing. So this is the way to do it, when that is a substandard way of doing things. But
mhm.
if people speak, because as I keep speaking, it's going to reach them eventually. They're going to say, okay, fine, Afridamus, since you have the answer, we want to hear your answer. Then I would point out what the answers are. Because it would open the dialogue. I would say, I would ask, why are you charging us $20 coming in and out? We want to know. We want to know, why are we taking COVID tests, from America, England, wherever, and then we come here, you randomly select us for COVID tests, you see? And
On that
also,
particular occasion, everybody had to take it. Everybody that came in the country had to take it. But I understand what you're saying. Randomly selecting people for quarantine is a problem.
it is a
Actually,
problem. And
that is
and
a
and
problem.
because the fact of the matter is, I saw where you were asking for a receipt for the money that you paid. And this guy is literally telling you, oh no, we don't give receipt. Oh, you will be reimbursed for your money. To me, that
All a joke.
sounds, yeah,
All a joke. We
yeah,
knew we weren't going to be reimbursed. They kept telling us they were doing us a favor. Even my 18-year-old daughter was like, this is not a favor. A favor is something you do for free, and you're not doing this for free, and you're requiring us to do it, and you're requiring us to pay. I knew we would never get any payment from Brussels Airline at in Brussels. I mean,
yeah,
I was clear on that, especially when they would not give a receipt. It was just a money grab. And, somebody recently has come on my video and attempted to take me to task for airing this on a public platform. But I didn't see them saying anything when I put 30 videos up of how great of a time I had in the Gambia. I just don't understand that mindset. Like, don't come for me for telling the truth. Let's work together to figure out how to fix a situation. But covering it up, expecting us to hide it, does nobody any good. And I personally am not the person. They got the wrong person for that.
yeah, yeah. And quite frankly, like, I've always done this. Even I used to be on Facebook, which is where many Gambians are active as. They
Mhm.
know me there, where I'm I take the politicians to task. I I talk about constantly about the corruption, the money grabbing, the constant money grabbing, and a whole lot of stuff. But this is why I want to hear your side of it. What your experience was, the first time, and then you eventually went back, and when you were coming back, um, the frustrations you have to deal with. so that the people that are looking forward to it, so they will know, you know, what to expect, what is going on, and all that.
So the primary problems were, number one, the Gambians did not cancel the flight. So I
Right.
was always aware that they were not responsible for that and couldn't be held accountable for that. The problem came in that they're the ones running the airport. They didn't have any sympathy, any care or concern. They didn't have any systems in place. They didn't know where the shuttle was going to be coming, when it would be coming, where we would be going, it was like a total, what? I mean, what? You know, it was astonishing to us. Like, this is your level of customer service. It was problematic, but we always understood that the airline canceled the flight. What they could have done was to be compassionate about it and to try to have something set up for us to understand. We know this is unexpected. This is what's going to happen next. This is what you can expect. Go there. The shuttle will come here. We're going to take you to this airport. I mean, this hotel, something. But then they were looking at us like, you're upset. But why? Like, I mean, are you kidding me right now? They were just callous. And that was astonishing to me, because actually my experience with Gambians has been that they actually are very nice.
Right.
They actually are very nice. So to get to the airport and have a situation of this magnitude and have the employees acting like, get over yourself, the plane's canceled. Yeah, I don't know. We don't know. Whatever. Was like, really? That was very astonishing to us. So we go, finally, the shuttle comes. And so, like, even after that, there are people who work in the airport coming up to us, just chatting, you know, but it was the Brussels airline employees in particular that I found to be quite unhelpful. When we go to the hotel and we check in, and they say we're going to get some food. They don't know when, they don't know where. It turns out that they had actually a nice setup out past the pool or something, but nobody told us. So I'm trying to get a friend to come get us some food when I think I went down to the desk to say something, and they were like, or I ran into somebody and they said, the food's out there. All you have to do is go out back. So I'm dialing up my kids. Come on, let's go get the food. It just is unorganized. And then, you know, we stayed there that night, which the hotel was actually quite nice. I don't remember the name of it, but it was pretty nice. It's new. It was a nice hotel. Like, somebody came on my...
Did they pay for it?
They paid for it.
Okay, that's nice of them.
Hotel. They paid for the shuttle. They paid for the hotel. They paid for dinner and breakfast. I mean, all of that was fine. It was just the way it all went down. You're never knowing what's next, how it's going to work, where is it, what to do. You're just trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah, because the thing is, the hope is for them to see the videos, because I know my Gambian people, they generally, when you point things out and they hear someone's side of the story, they don't mind adjusting. You know, yeah, this is why I talk about these things. They don't mind adjusting to
Well, that's not
accommodate.
what they told me. They told me that all African Americans do is complain. I mean, they didn't tell me this to my face, of course, but on my video on Raising the Vibe channel.
Look, you know, like, people on the internet is different. You see, it's different. But for them to hear us having the real discussion, because they would understand, okay, people like in other parts of the world, the reason why those places they attract more people is because of the customer service, the organization of things. Yeah, and hopefully seeing them, you having this discussion with, you know, one of the natives of that land, you know, they know it's nothing biased about it, because they know I have a genuine interest in the place, you know, whether the people like to admit it or not, because that's where I said everybody.
Because when I watched your video, I was like, they must be giving him grief. You were like, people are saying this and that. And I'm thinking they must be giving you a lot of grief for airing out. I didn't get the sense that you were making anything up. I got the sense that you were expressing your opinion and sharing things that had happened to you and or your family members, but that you get an amount of grief from Gambians who feel that you're, I don't want to say picking on them, but something of that nature.
Well, I mean, they won't be able. This is why you're not gonna see Gambians in below coming there saying those to me, because they understand that, like, hey, this doesn't only happen to, say African American or British, even Gambians themselves, like me, who would go there. This does happen more than you think. I even know people, my friends, who, like, you come through, they want to open your bag, they check in and asking you, oh, you gotta pay for this, even your own clothing. You see,
they tried to do that to me in Tanzania. In fact, actually, now that you mention it, they tried to get us to pay extra for the things that were already in our suitcases that we had already paid to transport with us. We didn't pay. That's the difference between there and here. Like, I felt like if we didn't pay for those COVID tests, we were not going to get out. And we wanted out at that point. We were just like, look, take the money. We know you're stealing it.
Right.
Take it. And we're leaving. And there was a Black British woman, a bit older than me. And she said, every time they hear my voice or see this passport, they start to look at me as a walking ATM, because they were, of course, charging her too. Right. And I think that some of us, well, this is a little on the side, but I think that the issue of overcharging Black people from Britain and from England and from America needs to be addressed. They seem to think that we're being ungrateful or complaining or problematic because we don't just say, okay, yes, I know it costs $300, but you take $1,500, okay? They seem to be upset with us.
Well, the truth is, like, the idea, when you show up with that American flag, that American passport,
they know.
Yeah, so you definitely, people think you have the
unlimited money.
Unlimited money, you see? So,
and they think that our government, this is what some of my Gambian friends have said, like, our government doesn't help us. And I'm thinking, well, whose does? Unless you're like an impoverished mom with a kid or one or more kids, or I don't know. My government's never said, here's some free money. You just go ahead. What they're not getting is that we are working and earning this money and using money to come there to have an experience. And we're wanting to, like, I have some videos where I talk about, I don't want to go to the Lebanese shop. I don't want to buy stuff I'm never going to buy stuff from the Chinese.
But why don't you want to go to the Lebanese store?
I want to find Black Gambians. I ain't come there to connect with Lebanese. I came there to connect with fellow Black people. So if I have money to spend, I want to spend it. I want to put it in the hands of other Black people. So it's not that I don't want to help them or give any money or do anything. I want to be treated humanely. And that does not include everywhere I go trying to jack up the price because you think I have something that you can get. And that is the problem with that whole thing. And it detracts from your experience and your sense of, you're trying to have a sense of family. They're not my family, so people have come on and told me. I get it. But I'm trying to connect with them. Large numbers of Africans were shipped through that St. James Island, which is now Kunta Kinte Island, large numbers of them. And so some of my ancestors arguably came from that place or through that place. So when I go back there, I understand that I don't have cousins and people that, I can connect directly to my bloodline, but I am looking for some sort of kinship. And I have begun to question the reasonableness of that approach. I have
Yes.
begun to question, it may not be reasonable for us to be going there looking for that sort of connection. It's not their responsibility to provide it to us, but to the extent we're looking for it, when they start treating us like foreigners who are there to be fleeced, it certainly does away with it. It takes that away.
Yeah, well, this, because I've said it, most people don't like it, but the honest truth is, it's just you people that are coming from the West, you're the one thinking that way. Over there, that concept, that's not how it works. They don't, you're seen as a foreigner from England or America, like that history is dead and gone. Like most people don't even, because you have to see that settlement there changed a lot. Like people move around, so maybe the people who were there before, they are no longer there, unless you go to like villages where the people are permanent.
Well,
But
they
being,
pretend that they know that. They
yeah,
pretend that because they surely welcome home. Oh, my sister. Oh, my brother. When you're even at Kunta Kinte Island Museum, the guy is showing me a raised fist saying that they owe the Gambians money. And I'm like, really? For what? For all of our people that you took from here. I was like, okay, I don't know. But they want their own reparations. So they act like they know that. But the reality is, I'm not sure about other people, but for me, on both sides of my family, we have full-blooded Native Americans. So this is my land too. And I certainly have descendants of slaves in my direct lineage. I can claim anywhere over there too. I don't need the people to, I don't know. I don't want to get too radical, but I just say that I can claim whatever homelands I wish because I have blood that comes from all of them. And I just think that when they act that way, it makes you less inclined to kind of want to do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because in that very territory, even though it's small, the people are not the same. So if you tell somebody, you come in saying my brother or sister, they'll be like, oh, okay. It's not normal for them. Like even
they
me
say
being,
we're not saying it to them, they're saying it to us.
Because they
have
want
friends
your
in
money.
England too. It's my brother. They're calling them my brother, my sister.
They want your money.
Saying it to, right. So they're doing what they think they need to do.
See, I'm from there, right? I'm from there, right? I can assure you, they're not saying that to me. How come? I'm just me. They're not, if I'm not related, if I'm not, because they know that I know, but maybe they've met because people go there, they say a lot of things. I'm here for a spiritual journey, for this. So they're picking up on this. They're like, okay, wait, these people want to connect with us at this level. So they are looking at it from, okay, if I connect with these people, they're coming, they're thinking money, what I can get from them. They don't care about that stuff. I'm just being real.
But don't they know that is a very short-term approach? Because the reality
they don't
is,
think like that.
About England, but the reality is that African Americans have a lot of money. I mean, not everybody, but the people who have enough to go over there, they have power, they have education, they have influence. To me, is bigger than Gambians trying to get some money from us. To me, is bigger than all of this, because everywhere you look around the globe, whether it's Brazil, Gambia, South Africa, Jamaica, all the Black people are at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder. So what needs to happen is we need to come together. The people on the continent, the people throughout the diaspora, pool our energy, pool our resources, and push ourselves up and break this whole white supremacy that has us in its grip. And anybody who can't understand that and isn't working on that level, I think they get left behind. And anybody who thinks it's more important to get an extra 2,000 Dalasi from me than it is to make sure that I'm committed to coming back and opening businesses and bringing other people and connecting, they missed the whole boat.
Well, I see what you're saying, right? You are speaking in terms of, like blackness, but that's not how the people connect. That's not, they don't care about that, because it's not, the people are not the same. If you notice, like, it's different tribes, the languages are different, the cultures are completely different.
They're not even getting along with the
Exactly, much more.
and the
Yeah.
Fula. They're not even really getting along with each other.
Well,
but reality, we have to get beyond that. Like, I don't want to
no,
live in a world
I
where
get,
blacks are at the bottom all the
but
time.
what I
We gotta
get,
get past it.
but what I keep telling people this, they don't really, they say, I know what you're saying. You're thinking in terms of black, like race. They don't think in terms of that, because, for instance, if like I'm from the Soninke tribe, right? Everybody that's Soninke, we are okay with being who we are, in harmony with others. We're different. We want to do our own thing. They want to do their own thing. So all this new stuff to these nations, you see, this is all a new thing. It's new to make it a national thing. But before, everybody had their own little territories.
It was this is the Berlin Conference result of them carving up the continent and throwing people together and splitting people apart.
So the reality is, like, if you're not from the West, like the concept, like if you explain that, they're gonna laugh at you. Then it doesn't even ring. It doesn't even ring a bell.
Friends who are university educated over there, it rings for them. We have discussions.
Well, those people
travel to other countries. So the other people are going to get left behind, because what we're not going to do is stay at the bottom of the totem pole forever. It's our turn to ascend, to come together, and to rise up. And those people who are more focused on getting 500 Dalasi than on nation building, everybody's not going to make it. We all know that. Everybody's not going to make it. I want everybody to make it, but some people are going to be left behind because it's bigger than this one little transaction. I may take money that I was planning to take back. I was planning to go there next month. Obviously, I'm not going, but that's going somewhere else. I'm not saying I'm never going back. I like the Gambia, but I need a break from the Gambia. But it's so short-sighted to me. It's such a short-sighted viewpoint.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, right? Because even if you look at just even the country's dynamic, because if you telling somebody, like, they're a nomadic tribe, right?
And is your tribe nomadic?
No, but let's say, like, if my tribe, like, we're not gonna go to somebody else's tribe and be, hey, let's unite. Like, what are we uniting on? That would be the question. Like, what are we uniting on? Because everybody is okay with being with being, on their own. You see,
and that's how they got colonized in the first place. See, that
you have to remember the colonized
Shaka Zulu would come in and unite people. The first pharaoh that united Lower and Upper Egypt, you come together, you unite people for power. It's not a new concept.
No, I know what you're saying, but you're conflating two things here. Like in South Africa, like, let's say the Zulus, it's a whole different dynamic than, let's say, Gambia. Like the people, literally, if you understand the language and understand the political dynamics, you would.
I may not.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So it's different because different tribes are into different things. It's like Chinese, Vietnamese, whatsoever. It's completely different.
I saw that Wolof and Mandinka had a problem, and somebody's telling me the history of those, and then they're telling me the history of them and why they don't get along, and this one doesn't forgive. But I do maintain that is why they were easy to conquer in the first place. And what I have learned is that a lot of the slaves came from Senegambia, a lot of Americans are from the South, and they said that the South Carolina plantation owners, or those who came to the market there, preferred slaves from Senegambia. I have
Well,
heard
because you know
from
why, right?
Gambians, because I'm thinking because they just go along. I don't,
No, no,
because
no, 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 no. Because you see that port there, right? The territory you call Gambia, actual Gambian natives is not that many who were sent into slavery. But because the people they are bringing them from landlocked areas deep in Mali.
and
So
transporting
they
them through.
transport them through. So when they find Senegambian slave, because they were rare to to bring them, because they didn't have established market like places like Angola, Congo, parts of Ghana where they have actual market for
But
slavery.
then the Gambians are playing into that, because then the information that they provide you tells you
Because
that
they
they
need your money.
decimated, not me personally, there's only so much money you're going to get from me. I
No,
can't
but
prop up the whole country.
not
But I
you,
mean,
everybody
but
that's
even in the
coming.
museums, they're saying these slave traders decimated our country. They took so many people. And you're saying that's
You
just
should
not
have,
true.
yeah,
That's
you
not
should.
your real history.
No, that's not true, because that territory, people move around. Even like a lot of people you meet there, if you know the language, you would find out they are not actually Gambian. Actual Gambians is less than 2 million. The people that are there added it up to make it 2.5 million or so. But
I met a
actual,
lot of
so
Senegalese and a lot of Gambians,
yeah.
but nobody said they were from anywhere else. Where are other places that they're coming from?
Oh, they're coming from Guinea Conakry, Guinea
Oh,
Bissau.
yeah, yeah.
You have Mauritanians there. You have Lebanese. So, for instance, like if you say colonialism, right? Like my village, where our people come from, people is like, because when people hear colonialism, they think it's white people running around. No, it was indirect rule. Most of those little kingdoms are intact. Nothing changed whatsoever. They're doing their own thing, So eventually, when they officialized thing and educated some Gambians, the ruling was done through the chiefs,
And that's exactly what the problem is now, is that the presidents are still puppets of the West. And so they're not doing anything for the people because they've been trained to do that and they're being paid to do that. So I guess, I don't know, but I know that for us here, we're interested in nation building. We're interested in rising up above what's going on. We would love to scoop up some continental Africans. Maybe Gambia is not the place. Maybe it is. I don't know, because everybody may not agree with you. But, people have to get on a higher frequency.
Yeah, I get that. So, like, for instance, right? You see how like Lebanese or Indians or whoever, other Africans. So Gambians generally are like independent minded. Like they see you as a foreigner, whether you
Everywhere in Africa, we're a foreigner.
Yeah, they
That's
see.
what I want my people to know. No matter what country you go to, you're a foreigner. You're a Black from America. So claim it, join together, and know that. Because every country you go to, they see you as we're not African. We're American.
Because those Senegalese there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see Gambia is tiny. It's literally, could be a part of Senegal.
They don't love them either.
No, it's not about whether love or not. They just don't. Every African, they still Senegalese would be called a foreigner. If I go to Senegal, I'm a foreigner. So what I'm trying to get at, people going there with the idea saying we're Black, that only stays here in the West.
Or they do stuff like they do in Ghana and form whole towns where they're a bunch of African Americans, and then all the Africans complain why they're not intermingling with the Africans, why they're not spending their money over there. They're all living over here in this town. Like,
really?
You can't really have it both ways. Like, you either want us to come and you want to be a part of whatever we're doing, or you don't want us to come. I actually did a video on TikTok about this because there's some woman, and she appeared to be a Jamaican American from Tanzania, saying are we beyond, are African Americans
Oh,
beyond
I saw that video.
Yeah, so I did a video in response. I didn't put it on YouTube or anything, but it's on my TikTok. And my thing is, you know, if you set quotas to keep us out, if you make us feel unwelcome once we get there, the type of people we are, if we'd rather be in Africa than be in America, we're going to go to Africa. Well, when we get there and start doing what we do, don't complain because you didn't want us there after all. You
No,
kind of have to make up your mind. You either want to get with us and work together, or you want to try to not be a part of whatever movement we're doing.
See, like that's what I like in African countries, especially West Africa. Because you have to look at it. You have to also look at their constitution they go by, and because the government is what runs these things. But the people, when you come, for instance, you're saying, oh, we're here to build with you, blah, it makes them suspicious. They don't want outsiders in their business. They are repellent to that. They might be nice if you like try, like for example, they have the political season right now. The election is coming
up.
You know, if you want to know truly what they're about, people that smile, say something about the political system. That's when you would find out the true nature. Like you are not supposed to say anything. You're just a stranger. Even Senegalese that are there, if they participate in the Gambian politics, every Senegalese would be attacked. You know, it's across the board.
Participate in their politics.
I'm just
saying what you're saying.
I'm giving you.
They draw them out.
Yeah, I'm giving you the mindset, how it works. So like you see, like Lebanese, Indian, and others, right? Like when they get there, they just do their own thing.
They just set up shop.
They set up shop
off the Gambians.
Well, they don't really rip them off.
That's what they love. That's what they love.
No, I wouldn't.
Pale skin to come in and set up a shop and overcharge them, and like the Chinese, treat them like crap. And then when we come in to look at us, but you people. I mean, I don't know what they want. Hold on.
But when you say they are ripping them off, what do you mean rip them off?
Overcharging them too. They're bringing in important. They're doing it to the Western population as well.
But
bringing in goods and charging exorbitant amounts for them because they're things that are not otherwise available in that country.
No, but you have to look at it, right? I understand people say ripping off, but literally you cannot go there and run that type of business like them without the government. The government are charging these people an arm and a leg. Look into the taxes. You see those stores that you see, the people, those Lebanese are in, those are owned by actual Gambians. Like Gambian law, when it comes to the land situation, who's gonna get what, people don't know this secret. It's very, very tight. You cannot get over on them. It might look like that to you. You cannot get over on those.
Nobody wants to. That's the whole thing.
No, I'm not you. I'm talking about the Lebanese, right? The Lebanese, if you speak to them, if you talk to them, go look at the taxes. Because Gambia, that's another reason why it's kind of difficult, because of the taxes. It's easy to deal with the people themselves, but the government. So this is why it's easy for big money to be able to set up, because if they hit you with heavy taxes. So those Lebanese, that's why they have to charge, because they are paying very high taxes. The taxes are pretty high. So it's not that
I just would let that go. For anybody who is an African American, a Black Brit, a Jamaican, whatever, I think that there are a number of people there who are living there and do manage to fit in and enjoy living there. But it's just important for people to know that you are essentially a foreigner. Now, can you be there and integrate yourself into the community and all of that? Sure. But just know that when you first get there, you're a foreigner, you're going to be treated as such, and you should treat them as such, because they don't, not just Gambians, but Africans don't have the same mentality, the same culture, the same outlook that African Americans have. We are a unique people. And so, people who are what I am need to understand that there's culture shock on both sides.
Right.
And you need to know that they're not who you're thinking they are, and you probably are not what they're expecting. And people have to get to know each other and find out how or if they can fit together.
See, like someone like me that's lived in this country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Understanding the culture, like you and I can interact very well and be able, what you're saying, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
We can see eye to eye, but I'm being realistic. Like the people, majority, what you're saying, even what I'm saying, it's not resonating. The culture is different. The religion is different.
Religion, yeah.
Yeah. The religion is different, because like you're gonna meet some people. There is people around. Like somebody might come. You go to some villages. All the people, like for example, if you go to my village where my father, my grandfather, everyone came from, everyone in that village everyone is the same tribe. That language is the only language spoken there. So like for instance, if you come there, you would be a complete outsider and you start talking about building, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. Or you're saying, oh, we're brother and sister, they will be very suspicious. They're not gonna, they will be like, okay, what is this lady talking about? You see? But if you
what
go,
if a white missionary comes there, or a white person
they won't allow
them? That's not my experience.
No,
my experience is that they're much more accepting of non-Black.
No, that's not true. Gambians, there are some places that deal with missionaries, but not all. Most places, there are places you go to, they've never even seen white people. White people don't go there. They've never even seen them. I think people, blow it out of proportion. Most people don't even, it's like foreigners, it's totally foreign to them. They don't trust that. Even if you, for example, I've seen people, even Gambians, sometimes they will bring their mothers here, older Gambians. They don't trust eating even the food. They said, oh, they don't trust
food here. They don't trust.
Yeah, they don't trust. They're like, oh, I don't trust white people food. They are just suspicious of any kind of foreigner. Even people from Senegal, if they speak a different language from them, let's say, like you're probably in the Senegambia region.
I went to Senegambia, yes.
Yeah, that area, but you start going away from that rural Gambia, you start meeting people who they are not mingling with a lot of outsiders. They are only mingling with other Gambians, from other places. But to say that, they are nice people, absolutely, they are nice people.
Like nice people.
But they don't want to feel like someone is, imposing on them. Because if you tell them, oh, this is what we come to do, some people would take advantage of it. They would play along, but they're gonna take your money.
So this is what I would want to say, because I'm coming to an end. So I'm going to say something, then I'm going to let you ask some questions, because I think I just kind of veered off, and I want to ask.
Well, it's important for people to hear that,
Yeah, what I want to say to my fellow African Americans is that you should not be discouraged by that one. I had a great time there. If I didn't, I would not have gone back and taken my children with me. I had a great time in the Gambia. Just ended on a sour note. So it shouldn't be used to discourage anybody from coming. Even the things that you're saying, giving us the insider's view of the Gambians, should not be a discouragement. We are very well capable of going anywhere we want on the continent, or in the Caribbean or wherever is setting up establishments and making them work the way we need them to work. If we can do it here in this country with everything against us, we can do it anywhere. So the question is, do we work together? Do we work on our own? But definitely don't forget that, we can accomplish whatever we set our mind to. Pick a country, go wherever you want. If that one doesn't work, go to another one. If your desire is to be in Africa, and if your desire is to be in America, then we're going to fix this too. Because what we're not going to do is keep bickering with other Black people that want to keep bickering and never get anywhere. We are going to elevate. We are.
Yeah,
Any questions, please?
Yeah, I say, right, you can, when you go, just if you want to set up business, like wherever, just do it. The people, not everybody is gonna, you cannot save people,
right?
But
they will,
but they will, like, there's going to be people that you would definitely 100% get along with, you're gonna do business with. Like the Lebanese, they employ Gambians, and most Lebanese actually are Gambians. They've been in Gambia even before, during colonialism. They've been there way longer. They are born and raised there. Because I've been telling people, right?
Well, we're not going to Gambia or to Africa to deal with non-Blacks. I mean, most Black people coming there are not going to want to deal with that. We're not going to go to South Africa and start dealing with the Boers or whatever. That's not what we're going there for.
But the amount of there are way more Gambians, right, than the other people. If it's about doing business with Gambians, you will not run out of those. You're in the factory there. You will not run out of that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, most people are around Banjul and Sarakunda area, but if you want to see the Gambia that I'm talking about, where it's the typical no mixture, leave those areas and go in, right? I
went to Jambonjeri. I went to Mamuda. But I need to go. I'm sorry.
It's a Jambonjeri and
Mamuda, which is near there. Somebody's parents were living there.
Oh, Manduar.
No, Mamuda. Mamuda. It's in the area of Jambonjeri.
Yeah, that's Manduar.
Oh, well, they say it's on the signs as Mamuda. Say it again.
Manduar.
Well, the guy whose mother lives there, it doesn't call it that, but it doesn't matter. What I do know that when I go back, I'm going to go further out into the regions so that I can experience something. I mean, I'm not going by myself. I'm going to go with Gambians who are able to take me there and, introduce me or show me around. I have been learning Wolof. I do think that's useful for Senegal as well, but I'm considering whether, Kiswahili might be a better shot. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to keep my avenues open, but
Kiswahili,
this is my land.
That's in East Africa. That won't be useful in West Africa.
Right, but when I went to Tanzania, they were speaking that there. They speak it in Kenya. I don't know that I have to be restricted to West Africa.
Right. I mean, like, you can definitely, like, explore, but quite frankly, like the concept of race is not, like, in Gambia. I know for sure it's not a big deal. Like, they really don't. They know, like, okay, this person is white or Indian, but they really, it's like, yeah, that's another person. We're just different, but it doesn't mean anything else. Like, there's no other meaning behind it. It's like, hey, I do business with them.
I would say again, that's how Zambia has essentially become a Chinese colony. That's
Oh no,
how
people are making that up. Zambia cannot be colonized by Chinese.
I was there 10 years ago, and we were concerned and talking about the Chinese presence, their disrespect for Africans. Now it is my understanding, and I did some research, that the Chinese run the Zambian Broadcasting System, ZNBC, Zambian National Broadcasting System. They own and operate the airport. They own and operate Zesco, the utility company. So we may not be talking about changing the name and calling it a Chinese name. All the Wodemaya showed that all the billboards are in Chinese. We as a people have to kind of like wake up. Just walking around sleepy saying, "Oh, it's okay. They're just people." Yeah, you're not really. Well, you're just here for me to get money from. We have to wake up, or you're going to be right back where you were. And somebody told me that the
Belgian road, or the Belgian
own and operate Banjul Airport. I wanted to ask you that.
Trust. Look, I've heard a lot of things. I can assure you 100%. People speaking, they do not know how Africans think. They don't understand. I can assure you 100%. This is
so the
not.
Gambian airport is owned by Gambia? Is owned and
Of
operated
course,
by Gambia?
of course.
Because what I've told you about Zambia is not people speaking. It is research and deals made with countries when African countries defaulted on their loans. That's how the Chinese took over.
China, right? They're doing business with places, but the Africans are about business, because you have to look at it. It's about power. It's about power.
But they don't have any power. We need to figure out how to get some.
No, but they have the power. They are the government. All the military is all the people from that country. Do you know that? Like even the Gambia where you went to, like they have their own military or own everything.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah. So if you to be able to control a place, you have to control the government, the military, and all that. You cannot control a place without that.
They do that. The Western countries do that with money. Most of the African presidents are doing things that are not in the interest of their citizens, that line their pockets. And when they leave, they take their money with them. And in the meantime, you get what you get in Gambia. You get poverty. You get lack of education. You can't get educated there unless you pay.
Right.
I mean, we care, but you got to care back. When you see it, you got to care back.
I know, like, see, if you're coming from a place like the United States, United States is a wealthier country, and the Gambia, as far when I remember, what they provide was free education from 1st grade to 6th grade. I heard now it's changed, it's up to high school. They even, they have the college there as well.
For free?
So I believe so.
I have friends who sponsor orphans to pay for their university, because unless somebody's paying, they can't go. So maybe they don't know about that.
But entirely, right? What you see there, yes, it's not much. They don't have that much money like the United States. Of course, there's corruption, but as far as the control we're talking about, no. Africans are not the governments. They might take the Western people's money, but they are not doing what the Western people want them to do. This is facts.
So you think that the continent of Africa, see, to me, and nobody told me this is just my opinion. To me, part of the reason that some of us want to go over and help, not take over, but just hope to strengthen the continent, is because if there is a strong continent, then Blacks across the diaspora are in a better position. If a Chinese person comes here or something happens to them, they can reach out to the Chinese government, which has resources and relative power. As long as Africa they have all the resources in the world, but limited power, then they're not in a position to do anything for anybody. They can barely help their own citizens.
No,
But
well,
my
if
question to
something
you
happens
is,
to
do
me, right?
you feel that the continent of Africa and all those 50 plus countries over there are in a position of strength and are in control?
Well, there are different countries. They see, people lump them. These are completely different
So let's just talk
countries.
about Gambia. You feel
Gambia.
that Gambia is in a position of strength?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, not like they don't, like I said, Gambia is a small country, a small economy. But as far as the government goes, right? If something happened to Gambians outside of Gambia, they have Gambian embassy in that country, like here in the States. Oh yeah, they, like Gambians, they would step in for their citizens. If something happens to a Nigerian, that's none of their business. They know nothing about that.
Right, but
The
Nigeria has an embassy here too.
Yeah,
But the question is, do they have enough power in their own right for the Americans or the British or for anybody else to respect them or want to negotiate with them or to do anything that they're asking?
That's the thing. Because we're talking government to government. These people are doing deals with these governments all the time. Like when Trump was in power, he signed a deal with African countries where they can bring in their agricultural products tariff free. So this is government to government dealings. But as far as, because I know what you're saying, people are going about to say, Africa is one. Like, I'm not gonna.
No, we don't think Africa's one.
Yeah,
we understand that there are different countries and different tribes comprise those countries and different cultures, and some are Muslim and some are Christian and some are voodoo. We understand that they're all different.
Yeah, like for instance, right? For instance, I am not gonna like need help, right? Let's say if I was in a U.S. citizen, or even being a
U.S. citizen now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So for instance, a Gambian who's not a U.S. citizen, if something happens, even some issue happen, they're gonna call the American government is going to contact, the Gambian
ambassador.
So if you are in the Gambia, something happens, they are going to contact American embassy. They're not going to say, oh, this person is black. Everybody in Gambia is black. It's the black factory, So that's, that's not how it works. So like, if I call, let's say, Ghanaian embassy, they're going to be like, who the hell are you? And if I say I'm Gambian, they will be like, why don't you call your own people?
We understand that, but you know how they have ECOWAS, the Economic Council of West African States or whatever. More of that needs to be happening. We understand that they're all different countries, but what Africans, in my opinion, and it's to my advantage. The reason I care is because if they can do this, it'll benefit me and all my people too. What they need to do is come up out of that. I'm just Mandinka. I don't care that you're Wolof. You people, we need to come together. Stay separate. You can maintain your separate identity, but you come together for economic and political power on a global scale. If you have a small country like Gambia, it cannot do very much by itself. But if it's together with Ghana and Senegal and other West African countries, then there are things that they can do as a block.
Well, they have ECOWAS for that. But you have to also remember, different countries have different needs. So for instance, right, what you're saying, for instance, you are telling somebody that, hey, forget your identity. And no, because if you tell some, like a Mandinka and Wolof, right? These are two completely different people. They're different. Yeah, they're different. So it's like telling a Vietnamese person, hey, you guys look like Chinese, you got yellow skin, forget about being being Vietnamese. Just be a Chinese. You guys, be a Chinese.
What I'm
It's not.
saying is be a Songhai, be a Wolof, be an Igbo, be a Yoruba, be a whatever you are in your day-to-day life. But when it comes to negotiating and dealing economically and politically on a global level, find your common interests and work together so you're moving in a position of strength. Because Nigeria plus all the other countries, Nigeria is pretty whatever. Nigeria plus all the other countries together is stronger than Gambia by itself.
Right. It's a bigger
All
country, 200 million people.
But I'm done. We have different views. I think I saw that you're not really Pan-African, right? You're not.
No. Because the reason being, for instance, like what you're saying, right? All these countries, like what you're saying, they're already doing that. Like, because they have like heads of states, they have their cabinets and all. These are the people doing all that negotiation.
Not
like,
working. They just let Israel. Okay, I don't know.
Israel, that's an observer state.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't appear to us to be working. What I say to the diaspora, and I'm going to do a video on this. Maybe the diasporans need to come together and do our own thing, because we need unity. We need unity.
You know what? I actually support that. You know why? Because maybe, just maybe, that's what is needed. Like when you do it and they see that it works, right? It's working. Then because
that's a good point. Then they join in.
Because then they would see, okay, this is a model to emulate. But as it is now, for instance, if you tell somebody who, okay, they don't even speak, they don't know Wolof, at all, they don't know the language whatsoever. Imagine like someone coming to you, right? Like me coming to you right now. I say, hey, since you say you are African, you know what? Stop being a black person. Be a Soninke. You cannot just get up and be one. You see what I'm saying? So
be clear that I'm telling you to continue being a Soninke. You be a Wolof, you be a Mandinka, you be a Fula, whatever. But when you're dealing with the outside,
we're already doing that. We're united on that front. Like if we have our government, when we're sending Gambians to represent, like we're not saying, hey, these are the Mandinka or the Wolof. We say Gambian, they are representing Gambia. It doesn't mean they are no longer their tribe, but we are one people. But we understand also that, right? In ECOWAS, even in ECOWAS, like Nigeria is a bigger state in ECOWAS. They are the biggest. So if there's military intervention, people don't understand this even. Military interventions, Nigerian troops would be sent. They would bring in troops from different places. The wars in Africa, in West Africa, it is West Africans ourselves that stopped those wars. Like in Sierra Leone, you had Nigerian troops there. Even Gambia, where you just came from, like you would see some of those military, because in 2019, we had a little scuffle when the government didn't want to leave. 2017, so still there is intervention, troops there. These are Senegalese mostly, and there's some, I believe, few Nigerians. So it is Africans ourselves, especially West Africa, run that. So like if there's an issue in, let's say, East Africa, right? The East Africans have their own thing that they run. You're not gonna take Nigerians or Gambians. Even though we have Gambians in Darfur, all the other African nations, we're the ones running all that on our own.
Imagine if there was an ECOWAS, one for the eastern region, one for the southern region. I don't know if we're claiming.
I think they have their own.
And then every country's individual, and they have regions, and every region's individual, and then they come together. See,
That's
I'm
the
not going to.
AU. You know the AU?
Is it, well, we're the sixth region. The diaspora is the sixth region of the AU, so they
Well,
do recognize us. We're the
yeah, that's
sixth
what I'm
region.
saying. The ECOWAS, right? That's for West Africa, because West Africa and East Africa, they are completely different, even culturally,
But
language,
you're on
not
the
the
same
same.
continent. You
It
don't have
doesn't,
to be the same
but
language and the same culture, but your strength
but
increases.
but would you say Chinese and an Indian are the same people, or Japanese? They are
This
not
is
the
what
same.
I was
They are
saying.
all in Asia. Their skins look alike, but these are completely different people. I think when it comes to Africa or Black people, we are not allowed. People don't want to allow and see that these are two different. These people
We
are
do
different.
see that,
You
but
know, when I see,
we see Kwame Nkrumah's vision. We see what he's talking about, and I'm saying that when I go down south, I'm not well. My roots are in the south, but when I went to college in the Midwest, the Black people there in Milwaukee or Madison or whatever, they were not like me, but we still understood that we had some commonalities. We don't eat the same. They say pop, I say soda. We have differences, but
but you all speak English here. The
that's
culture,
true.
the
That is
culture,
true. We
the
all speak
culture
English.
is similar. Pretty much everybody is like raised
But
alike.
that's why they were saying that it would be useful for everyone to learn Kiswahili, because more countries than any other speak that than anything else. See,
No, in the
I
east,
understand.
in the
No,
east,
they
not.
said over the continent
Oh, they
that
are making that
language
up.
is spoken by more people than any other language, and that could possibly be a language to unite. I'm just done. Let me just say this. I get your point, man. We're not the same on
No,
this,
now,
because
no,
I
now,
understand the power of
I'm
unity.
with you. You know what? I like. Hold
You're
on.
with me?
No, hold on. I like your persistence. Here's what I would totally support. Right?
Okay.
This is gonna work, right? You have the diaspora, people who really, really, truly are about Africa. How about find Africans that you can, like myself, we understand each other's culture, right? We form that alliance that you talk about and show, so they see
I'm with
that.
that.
Then you know what
I'm
I'm
for
saying?
that.
Yeah,
I'm for
because
that.
there's going to be people like the other people. Not everybody will come along, you see, but like-minded people, believe it, there are Africans who think like you're saying here and
Mhm.
understand that. But if you want to bring the other people, they're not understanding that. But
You
you
have
have
to
to
start
show it.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, you
agree.
have, yeah, you
Let's
have to,
do it.
yeah, you
Let's
have to,
try to make it happen. And
yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
what we do.
It's like, because if you say, oh no, we gotta bring everybody
No,
in, it's
no.
not gonna work. But you see what you're saying, right? We'll say, okay, cool, let's start that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can see it, and when they see this, I mean, that could be another block on its own, because trust me, in Africa they allow things to happen. But you just gotta show them, and
Mm-hmm.
and they would go along. There are some people who are truly, they want to live that village life, whatever. We leave them
That's
alone.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
fine. You see myself, I'm not gonna go in a village and live there. I'm just being honest with you. You see, but
Mm-hmm.
I would live around people I share culture with, understanding. You know, we do our Black thing. You see what I'm saying? And you see what I'm saying? We do our
Right.
Black thing. So
Mm-hmm.
so even, I know you said I'm not Pan-Africanist, but I could be the Pan-Africanist priest, not like Dr. Umar, but the real Pan-Africanist.
Right.
Right.
But I
So
like that you're flexible, and
no,
we may not have exactly the same views, but we just did that today. We found some common ground,
right. No,
and I think that
absolutely.
that's a good model. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at it, right? For me, like, not everybody will come along, but if they see, okay, here, these people will, like we're doing this here. I can even be the translator, whatsoever, bring people around, the people that want to come around, people that understand. But there's, I would be able to sniff out the ones who are faking it. They are
Well,
there
that's
just for,
true.
you see what I'm saying?
And then we
But
have some Nigeria. I have some really good Nigerian friends here who've been here forever. We
Nigerians,
could get people from all different, I know, but we can get people from all different countries. There's South Africans here.
right,
And
right,
so we could have them to help us figure out what's going on. Every African American is not Pan-African. So we could have
right.
me and people like me to figure out. So we need to,
You see,
we need to do something.
see, that's what I'm talking about, because it's like those other people, I mean, not, you got to leave some of them outside of the
Everybody's
bus.
not going to make it. Yeah.
Everybody's not going to make it. And it's the same thing over there in Africa. Some of those people, you just got to, let them live the, their life that they want to live. But that's not going to stop the party. Party with those who are ready to party. That's my whole point. Don't
try to force people.
Right.
So I agree. I've got to, I was supposed to do 30 minutes, but it's been very intriguing. It's been a nice conversation. I do have to get ready to go. Are there final questions you want to ask me? Because I kind of went off on a different direction and didn't get to the nitty gritty, perhaps, of what you wanted to know.
It happens. At the Afridamus report, people would say 30 minutes, but I guarantee you, remember you said to me, your videos are long. You
How
see
long
now
have we
what?
been now?
We've been here an hour, 30 minutes almost.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, the moment you come in contact with me, you wanna stay. But I would take you to task on this one, and you take me to task. We are going to form our own block. What do you say to that?
I'm in. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and show the example, right? Yeah,
and I
because
know some people I can bring in. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, because quite frankly, like I understand, like in Gambia, when you go, you see things, you'll be like, oh man, I want to change that, whatever.
Not really.
Not only
I
you.
need them to stop doing is throwing trash out the window. I mean, I get on everybody like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But other than that, I get it. They're different.
But you see, if we have our own Pan-African village, we show how clean it is. People would follow. They would set the example, because for me, I'm all about setting that example, because I know for a fact, you see how we're talking, because we are able to see eye to eye, but most people, like the things you're saying, talking about, they don't even understand where you're coming from. Like you tell somebody, don't throw the trash outside, they'll be like,
no,
really?
They say, oh, I'm sorry, because I just keep telling them your country's so beautiful, but look at that trash. It would be so much better.
They don't say anything.
They say, oh, I'm not okay, because I always am talking about it. So it's my friends, and they're like, okay, I won't do it. But I know the minute I go back to America, they do whatever they want to do. So,
yeah, but you see, if we have the, our own black village where it's clean, everything is pristine, and they see, they come around, we can't be allowing all that nasty stuff around there. You'll be banned from coming there. We see you throw trash, you can't come back. You see,
right.
But that's like the I think like Gambians or Africans who are very much enlightened, when the progress are needed part of this. You see, to make it really, really happen. Because a lot of people, the mistake they are making, they want to go, they think they can run it by themselves and bring the other people they meet there. Those people are not even understanding your culture. They're not understanding where you're coming from.
Plus, it's too arrogant to go somewhere and be like, I want to fix this. It may not, in their minds, it may not need fixing. So we don't want to go and try to make Africa into America. We want to go and figure out what people want and how we can help them achieve that, if possible. And if not, we just want to go over there and live and have a better existence for ourselves than perhaps we feel we have here. But I have enjoyed it. Thank you for having me on your Afridamus report. It's been a good time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm glad like you brought the topic on that way, because there is still hope. You see,
There is.
because I understand most people, the things I say, they think, oh, Afridamos is just completely against us. No, I like to challenge people to see exactly what they mean, where they're coming from, you know. But you've definitely proven you are about this, so let's definitely show the example. I'm gonna
Okay.
hold you to task. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna hold you to task, and we'll make it happen.
Let's do it. Sounds like a plan. Thank
All
you for
right.
having me.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night.
You too.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was raising the vibe. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation as I did, because it was a good conversation. She brought on some good points, and you guys saw. I gave a pushback. We went back and forth, but I like the idea to create the example. Because there are people who truly, they really mean it. People, they mean it. You can have two homes, both in America and in Africa, but you have to come, with like-minded people. It's not like we're just gonna pick up anybody. They bring their crazy baggage to Africa. No, she sounds very genuine. She wants to understand it. So when people are speaking, you cannot just dismiss what they are saying. You have to challenge them and understand where they're coming from. She obviously, you guys can see, she's very respectful. um Not like some of the ones that you're used to, who would just start cussing or going crazy. So she's good in my book. She's good in my book, and I hope she is good in your book as well. So it's been a great conversation. Tomorrow I have another interview with a Gambian. He's going to tell us his experience with somebody that he knew. They went to school together, how the guy scammed him out of nearly $20,000. I know you guys are gonna say, oh man, this is bad news whatsoever. But the reason why I'm bringing all this and uncovering it, ladies and gentlemen, is not to throw shade at anyone, but we want to create a stronger Africa, a better society. That's what it's all about, because people there have never been, taken to task like the way I'm doing it here at the Afridamos report. You guys see, there are some people, they get triggered whatsoever, but at the end of the day, we come together and understand that Afridamos wants what's best for all of us. So I'm not going to be the one deciding for people what's best, but my job is to bring people here and spark the conversation, and spark the real conversation. I'm not talking about the emotional ones. As you can see, raising the vibe, she definitely, held her own. She didn't go into emotional tangents and stuff like that, and she understood a lot of things that I'm speaking of. And as you guys can see, the conversation ended on a good note. So we hope to have more of this, and hopefully, this would, we would turn it around and make it better. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you here tomorrow at 10. Don't miss this conversation that I'm going to have tomorrow. This is going to be a good one. It is a Gambian that scammed another Gambian in the West. So you don't want to miss this story. He's been trying to get his money forever. And I mean, I don't want to spill the beans. Just show up tomorrow. You'll see for yourself. Thank you and have a wonderful night. And hey, people, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Don't just come here and watch me without subscribing. Sometimes that's kind of rude. And hit the like button, the thumbs, and share with your friends. Thank you. Have a good one.